before we head to the mat, I do want to just go over a brief introduction of Pilates and some basic principles. They're super important and that I will repeat over and over and over again because they're super important to get a good workout from Pilates and do what Pilates is intended to do. So first, I'll just share with you that Pilates was created by Joseph Pilates, and originally it was created actually for rehabilitation in the hospitals, and then it was popularized by dancers because of its ability to really strengthen the core. Pilates is a great conditioning exercise. It strengthens the small muscles that in normal exercise like lifting weights and such don't focus on. They focus on usually the large muscle groups. And often when you don't have these intrinsic muscles that are strong, you get injured way more easily. So it's important to do these conditioning exercises. We're going to start off doing a few times a week, and then eventually it comes to a point where it's more on just like a weekly basis to keep those intrinsic muscles strong. So the other benefit though to Pilates is actually there's a great mind-body connection because you do have to focus and become one with the movement. It's a great way to really balance the mind and body and then offer some relaxation benefits for yourself. So one of the big philosophies of Pilates is quality over quantity, which means it's not about how much you do, it's about how well you do. So with every single exercise, we are really focused on the quality of the movement, not how many reps, because that will not determine your strength, flexibility, core conditioning, any of that. So remember, it's not about how many you're doing or how much time, it's about the quality of the movement. One of the big things in Pilates, and the reason that I recommend this, is because it strengthens the core. Your core is not just your abs, okay? We're gonna go over in a second what your powerhouse is, and this is where your power comes from, but that ultimately is your core, and I'm gonna share with you what that is in a second. The reason you wanna have a strong core is because all the movement of the body is actually produced from the core. So when you have a core that is strong and stable, you move more freely, you move more fluidly, and you just are stronger and faster. Not that we're in a race again, but you are able to move quicker, you're able to move more efficiently. And if you can think about like a tree trunk or a tree, the core is its trunk. So if there's a solid trunk, the tree can kind of move and go without breaking. But if there is rigidity in that trunk, often that's when the tree falls over and breaks. And we don't want it to fall over or break. We want to be strong from our core to our toes. Another huge benefit to doing Pilates is creating long, lean muscles. And you're like, what does that matter? Well, it matters because the longer, the leaner the muscle, the more ability it has to do what its function is, which is to contract in order to carry groceries, carry your child, lift things, move furniture around, just the daily things that you need to do in order to live. You want your muscles to be long and lean and strong. Now, one of my favorite benefits of Pilates is actually an improvement in posture. So when you're doing these exercises, what you will notice is that not only do you feel good while you're doing them, but you will be walking taller, you will be sitting up straighter because it actually lengthens your spine. I'm going to challenge you to actually measure your height. Like, pause right now, go measure your height. Unless you've been to the doctor recently and you know what your height is, measure your height real quick. I'll give you a second. Did you measure? All right. Keep that number in a notebook or along with your journal or wherever you can keep it on the fridge somewhere. Because at the end of this, I want you to measure again. And I think you'll be surprised to learn that you may actually grow half an inch, an inch. It just kind of depends. It's really interesting that as we get older, we tend to shrink. And now there is some osteopenia that does occur. However, it's often just related to our posture and how we sit and how we stand. So you're going to see an improvement in your posture. All right, now let's get into what the powerhouse is. So your powerhouse is like a 3 to 5 inch band. Honestly, depends on your height. Your power does come from your core. So it's really important to keep a strong core, but not an overly strong core. So you want strong and stable, because like, again, everything is about balance, and you're going to see that as we go along. Everything in life is about balance, but especially your body. There is a balance between strength and flexibility, and so you want to be strong, but you want to be able to stretch that muscle as well, because again, that's what makes it be able to do the function that it's designed to do. So again, the powerhouse is this band of energy. So from the front, it's right here. So it is right below your belly button, basically between your belly button and your pubic bone. And then it crosses over to the front of the thighs, the side of your thighs as well, all the way around to your back. This whole band. So the muscles that work this, clearly your abdominals are part of it. Mostly your lower abdominals, but that's your rectus abdominis, your transverse abdominis, and even your obliques. They all pass down here. Also, your adductor muscles, which are the inner thigh muscles, your flexors, which are on the front of your thighs. You also have some flexors kind of towards the side. Your abductors on the side, which move your leg out, and your extensors. These are the glutes. Your glutes are actually the largest muscle in your body. So you have your glute maximus, medius, and minimus are over here, but these are extensors. And then also longessimus muscles, which are the erector spinae group, your multifidi muscles, and the quadratus lumborum all here. So that's your back, your hips, your thighs, and your abs. That is your powerhouse. That is your true core. So it's not about doing a million crunches. In fact, that's just going to overwork certain areas that will actually create a dysfunction, which is going to be an actual dysfunction in the way that it moves, and it's going to cause you more pain. A lot of times we experience this low back pain because there is an imbalance in the core, but it doesn't just have to be the abs that is part of it, but also the inner thighs, flexors, like I said, abductors, and extensors. You can refer back to the video, but I do want to make sure that you watch this entire video because the introduction is important.